Every fragrance collector knows that feeling when you find a brand new fancy cologne, you look up all the notes, it looks like something you'd love, all the reviews are saying it's fantastic, and you just can't wait to try it, so you just blind buy it, it arrives at your door, you take it out of the packaging, you're so excited, you smell it, and then you realize you've made a huge mistake. What I have just described to you is the two sides of fragrance blind buying. There's a side that's fun, exciting, adrenaline rushing, and then there's a side of regret, of crying in your bed at night. That got really dark. Because no one likes crying and going to sleep at night regretting a fragrance purchase, I'm gonna recommend to you 5 fragrances that I believe are a safe blind buy. That doesn't mean you will love every single one I recommend. I still don't technically recommend blind buying, but I understand it can be super fun. And if you want to go out and blind buy a fragrance, I recommend you choose one of these 5. Up first is Goldfield and Bank's Bohemian Lime. This is an Australian-based fragrance brand that is just making huge waves in the fragrance community right now. They have officially gone international. I've seen their brand at a lot of major pop-up booths all around the world, in Dubai, in the US. It's really exciting. This fragrance is by far their best selling one. It is called Bohemian Lime. As you probably guessed by the name, the main note in this thing is lime, but it is a beautiful, realistic, sparkling lime. It's something I haven't really smelled before. The closest fragrance I can compare it to is something like Xerjoff's Torino 21, but I actually do prefer the smell of this. It's slightly less realistic. It's a little bit less kind of zesty. It's hard to explain, but you just really do need to put your nose on this. The reason I think it's a safe blind buy is because if you like the smell of just picture a really fresh, uplifting lime with some woods in the base. If you can kind of picture yourself liking that, you will love this fragrance. I can almost guarantee it. This is the perfect fragrance for a hot summer's day. I understand, you know, when you wake up and it's really hot outside, sometimes you just don't even feel like wearing a cologne, but a fragrance like this is something I always reach for. I live in Australia, so it's very common here to get 30 degrees Celsius days on the regular, and it can make wearing these, you know, heavy, dense, rich winter fragrances, it can be rather unpleasant, but something fresh, invigorating, zesty. This fragrance is perfect for those hot summer's days. Performance as well is honestly nothing to laugh at. It's around 6 to 7 hours longevity, but for how fresh this fragrance is, it doesn't feel like the performance is a letdown. Sillage, projection, that type of thing as well. It's around soft to moderate. I use around 7 sprays with this and it seems to do the trick. I absolutely love this fragrance. It is definitely a safe blind buy, as like I said, if you like those really uplifting, kind of limey, citrusy scents. If you tried something like Xerjoff Torino 21 and you really enjoy that fragrance, I can basically guarantee you will love Bohemian Lime.
32% of people who watch School of Scent are subscribed to us. If you guys want to see our channel grow, to really help us out, click subscribe. Let's get that number to 40%. Thank you.
The second fragrance that I believe is an extremely safe blind buy is probably the most fresh, the most clean fragrance I've ever put my nose to. It's one that I still wear to this day, and that is Montblanc Legend Spirit. This is the perfect young man's signature scent, especially if you're very active, you like going to the gym, you like sports. This fragrance would suit you perfectly. It's fresh, it's a little bit sweet. It is extremely well priced. I believe this is only around $30 US, and for $30 US, this fragrance is honestly just a no-brainer blind buy. Another reason this fragrance is a fantastic blind buy is that it's extremely inoffensive. The best way to describe it is that you know those really heavy fragrances that you wear, and you kind of risk the fragrance actually wearing you unless you're confident enough to pull it off. You know, if you're not dressed up and you wear something, say like Xerjoff Naxos, you can kind of feel like, you know, the cologne is doing the talking for you. But something like Montblanc Legend Spirit, this feels more of just like you're spraying yourself with deodorant, with really high quality, fancy deodorant. That's the best way to describe it. This feels like you're kind of just making yourself feel fresh and clean, but you're not really doing too much with it. It just smells like a guy that keeps good care of himself, that has great hygiene. Again, this is probably better for the younger guy because it has that sweetness. It's quite a simple scent profile. It's a little bit powdery in the dry down. To me, this stuff is so fresh and addictive, and for the price, it's really just a fantastic blind buy all around. Because of that powdery sweetness in the dry down, I do find something like Legend Spirit to be a better fragrance in my opinion than Versace Pour Homme, Nautica Voyage. If you're a younger guy watching and you are looking for an affordable, cheap fragrance to blind buy, Montblanc Legend Spirit is the one I believe you should choose. Ultramel, you've probably heard of it. It's the clubbing beast according to Jeremy.
This is for clubbing only. This is a clubbing fragrance.
Yeah, that is kind of what it is. It's not super refined. It's not super well put around the edges, but that's not what it's trying to be. It's just a sweet, fruity bomb of pear, vanilla, and lavender. But I love that the lavender note is not super strong. It is very well blended. This stuff is amazing if you're a big party guy, you like going out, you want everyone just to smell you, and you just want to guarantee that you're basically the best smelling guy at any place. Ultramel is a great option. Afnan 9pm, like I was talking about earlier, it's a little bit cheaper, but it smells around 90% similar. And to just your average Joe, trust me, no one is going to tell the difference between these two, especially in the air. If you're smelling it on skin, this is a little bit less kind of rich. The notes don't stand out quite as much. It's a tiny bit fresher. But if we're being completely honest with ourselves here, no one except us fragrance nerds are going to tell the difference between these two fragrances. Performance on Ultramel, I'm looking at still in 2024 around a 9 to 10 hours longevity. Afnan 9pm, 7 to 8 hours, so fairly similar, but Ultramel does perform a bit better. Projection for the first 2 hours is very strong with both fragrances. Again, if you're a younger guy, maybe between the ages of 16 and 25, you like going out, you like clubbing, and you like compliments. I mean, who doesn't? But you just like compliments. Afnan 9pm and Ultramel both are fantastic blind buys if you like your sweet and fun fragrances. The final blind buy safe fragrance I'm going to be discussing in this video is my most recent blind buy. I actually got it around 2 days ago, and that is Mancera's French Riviera. I'm absolutely loving this stuff. To my nose, it just smells like the most high quality sunscreen ever. That might not sound super appealing, but just trust me, it's basically got every citrus note you can imagine: lemon, orange, I think mandarin, and then it's got a beautiful kind of saltiness in the base. You can definitely kind of smell it. It is probably the most oceanic and aquatic fragrance I've ever put my nose to, and I'm usually not a fan of super aquatic fragrances, but the fact that I still love this should tell you everything you need to know. It is blended beautifully. It's super easy to wear on a hot summer's day. Mancera French Riviera, especially if you already know that you like your salty, aquatic marine scents, you will probably love this one. In my opinion, this smells like a lighter, slightly toned down version of Xerjoff's 40 Knots, which is a fragrance that I really recommend you guys try. But if you want something more budget friendly, Mancera French Riviera is a great alternative. And like a lot of Mancera fragrances, the longevity and the sillage are well above average, especially for a freshie. Longevity, you're getting around 9 to 10 hours with moderate projection. This stuff is great on a hot summer's day, but I also feel like it's powerful enough that it has some versatility. I wouldn't say to wear it in the winter time going out at night, but you know, spring during the day, you could definitely get away with wearing this fragrance. As I already mentioned earlier, this definitely does have that kind of sunscreeny, almost lotiony vibe to it, which means it is not a super masculine smelling fragrance. In my opinion, this is almost perfectly unisex. So that is definitely one other notable thing to mention. If you're not into those kind of almost lotiony smells that lean, not feminine, but it definitely is unisex, do not blind buy this fragrance. But if everything else that I've told you sounds appealing, I'm sure that you'll love this one. That is going to wrap it up on the video of the top 5 most blind buy safe fragrances in my opinion. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe. You can check me out, FB Fragrances, down in the description. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on YouTube as you are seeing me here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.